This is what one does, who is skilled in goodness, and who knows the path of peace. They will be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, with few duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud or demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing, or they will not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. Wishing in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another, or despise any being in any state. Let none, through anger or ill will, wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart one cherishes all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness. One sustains this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding, by not holding to wrong views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world.
Thank you, Ajahn. Over to you.
All right. Just by the way, clarity of vision is, I think, is always samadhi. So that's always the deep meditation. It's not some sort of thought construct. This is sort of a very, very refined state of the mind with no thoughts anymore, which the mind is very pure and clear. That's the clarity of vision. It's not so easy sometimes to translate things. They had quite a few concepts in India because they were working with the mind and meditation even before the Buddha came along. So they basically knew about samadhi and things like that, the Hindus at the time already. So when that word was used in the original language, the people knew what the Buddha was talking about. While in these days we have to translate it, and clarity of vision can be anything. Can be usually people associate that with a clear mind, and then they have a brilliant thought coming up or something like that, and the mind just works on a different level, on the thought level, but it's not the case. It's always after deep meditation when this stuff happens. Just as a clarification for you. All right. Last time I talked a lot before we even started the meditation. Today we can mix it up. Are there any absolute newcomers to the meditation? Please shout out or lift your hand. Is there another screen? Nobody lifts their hands, so that you're all experienced meditators. That's great. So I don't have to go through any basics. Now I can ask you, you have any suggestions? What kind of meditation you would like to do tonight? Because don't always have to do the stuff I want to do.
Can we do metta?
A metta meditation, yeah, I knew that was coming up. Yeah, always good for me as well. Can never have enough metta. Okay, we can give that a try. I do my best. The metta meditation is obviously so metta is loving kindness for those who have forgotten or don't know, and is one of the states of mind that can lead into very deep meditation, because it's usually what the mind needs. Huh? Some sort of, if there is a huge feeling of love inside, or let's call it kindness, or loving kindness, or whatever, then it is a very pleasant feeling. And that pleasant feeling is strong enough to interest the mind in itself. That means where we usually struggle to stop the thought process, if we develop that feeling strong enough, it becomes pleasant and interesting, and then the mind doesn't have to fight against the thoughts or loses this sort of invisible conflict in the background, and is just really interested in what is going on there, because it is very beautiful. So that is one of the skillful means, what we call loving kindness meditation. The problem is obviously to be skillful enough to bring up through thinking in the beginning a really strong feeling of kindness in your mind. And then some people have a huge problem, for example, starting with themselves, because they have a sort of distorted self-view, where they think they're not worthy, or they're not, they don't deserve it, they're not kind enough, they don't even have the experience or whatnot. And they sometimes have to start from a different angle and just remember something that they can usually it's nice to have something in your past, obviously, already. Something you can remember where you felt great compassion, kindness, love towards them. And it can be if your parents, can be your children, or it can be an animal. It can be an occasion where somebody did maybe something really generous, or you did something really generous. Really making a conscious effort to remember something wholesome. That would be one way you can go about it in your meditation. But because that is a very personal thing, and you have to figure that out for yourself, I'm going to try to do something with the community we have here tonight. So I obviously not go into my experiences or whatnot, because it's a personal thing. I just hope what I say resonates a little bit with you. I try to do it that it resonates with me, and hopefully it resonates with you. That at least a little bit of that feeling in that direction comes clear in the mind, and then you see that a lot of the struggle stops already, because the mind, if we really manage to evoke a little bit of a feeling inside, it becomes so much easier to just stay with that feeling when it's pleasant. And that is how good meditation starts, always. It starts basically with a really wholesome mind, not being interested in anything else, because it is really invested in that what is going on at the moment. And it has to be something beautiful, otherwise the mind is going to struggle. Or you have somebody in the back trying to force the mind staying with that object, and that force is sort of an unkindness already then in the background, and that makes the process completely it basically distorts the aim. it distorts the purpose of what we're trying to do, because it's letting go of control. It's viewing as clearly as we can and as kindly as we can what is going on. So metta is one of the things people like to do. There are a few others, but today we stay with the metta. And I just get started and hope I can get us all in the mood. See how it works. I have no idea. I don't do metta that often myself. I do usually gratitude sometimes, which is close to metta in a way. But I give it a try for tonight, all right? I'm just gonna set my watch. Okay, so the first act of metta is always to make yourself very, very comfortable. That you don't feel stressed in your position. You definitely don't want to start in an uncomfortable position. The first act of kindness is that we make sure that the body is in a position where it can sit for maybe half an hour if you have pain or are uncomfortable before that you maybe just have to shift a little bit to get it comfortable. Obviously, if you're in pain, you stop and get up and do something else. First thing is that we want the very best for the mind and the body this evening. Here, no meditation. Because the more wholesome our mind becomes, the more wholesomeness we're going to bring into this world here. And that has an effect for ourselves and others. So it's a worthwhile thing to do. It's the first thing to remember. It's not a selfish thing to do. If your mind is happy, you have a chance to radiate happiness out there to your loved ones or to the people that you encounter. So please, make sure you sit in a position where you don't have to struggle. You can breathe freely. Please take a few deep breaths and figure out if you sit in a position where everything is open enough, you don't feel constricted. We have to start with a little bit of kindness to ourselves to give it a chance. A little bit of kindness towards that body, even if it's not perfect, and just trying to do the best we can to have it. Just need to know that we've done our very best to make it comfortable. If it in the end is comfortable 100% or not is not important. Our intention is important. We know we did our best. We know we can get unconscious and fall asleep in that position. Nothing is going to happen to the body. Just going to sit or lie there. And then we can try to feel a little bit inside the body this not having to do something, the kindness of not having to do. And all the people here doing the meditation, we take this half hour and we don't have to do a thing. Nobody expects anything. Nobody is on our back. No success, no failure. Whatever goes on in the mind is exactly all right. Isn't that an incredible kindness? Isn't that a real burden that drops? Just for this half an hour we can allow, even if we're grumpy or sad, if that is allowed to be felt. And if we really mean it, there's incredible sense of gratitude coming up for that. Because it's so kind. So usually trying to control so much. And if the mind really believes in that moment, here, right now, that it's not judged, it's not pushed, just allowed to have a look. That's a happy mind. It's a happy mind already, even if the feeling doesn't need to be super happy. It's just this relief. Gratitude. Now we can consider all the people who are sitting here in the meditation right now in their different living conditions, social conditions, circumstances. Sitting and just being kind enough to have a look into their world of feeling. Somewhere where not many people really look very much and are not really very interested in it. It's usually about manipulating feelings. But this loving kindness of allowing what is here right now. And if we can all share that, and just having that belief that everybody is trying their very best, it's a beautiful non-effort. And it just often helps if we remember that we are not alone in that. We're all dealing with body and mind the whole time. And everybody here in this group wants to be happy, tries to be as happy as they can and try to avoid suffering. That's one thing we all have in common. Our methods of achieving that are different, are sometimes more and sometimes less skillful. But that struggle is universal. I now wish myself well. And I would like you to try the same to yourself and see if there's resistance to that. May I be well and happy. May I be well and happy. May I be well and happy. Please feel if there's resistance, or if there's that feeling that you can really mean it. May the people who meditate with us tonight be well and happy. May we be happy right now. The happiness of a calm mind. A mind that is content with what is right now. Just seeing the feelings coming and going. The breath going in and out. It's nothing special. It just starts with calmness. And in the calmness there's also a little bit of relief already. And with a little bit of relief there can be gratitude. And just realizing how to work with one's mind. It needs always a very, very kind observer. A kind and calm observer can look so much deeper than any controller. And right now there are probably many thousands of people on our planet meditating. Quite a few get a taste of a little bit of calmness and that beautiful love and kindness that is behind that. Dealing as a good friend with one's own mind. There are many billions of people now not meditating, sleeping, struggling, enjoying themselves. Absolutely in the same boat, wanting happiness and trying to avoid suffering. We can share that little bit of calmness with them. That just this tiny taste of a different happiness. Happiness without struggle. Happiness for free. It's always there as a possibility. And the calmer and the more content the mind becomes, the more the intensity increases of that happiness. But we can send that little bit that we have out now, just to indiscriminately over that planet. I just include the whole planet, all the struggling, confused beings with their flaws and faults. It's no evil out there, it's just illusion. So nobody really there that needs to be excluded. In our meditation we can take them all with us. Can you start from your body, just radiating outwards? Just that goodwill, a little bit of goodwill. Just like little invisible waves radiating outwards all around you, like a pebble in water. May everybody be happy. May everybody be free of suffering. I'm going to ring the bell 3 times and we can end the meditation for tonight. So the problem is when I do that, I set a rhythm and I try to go through the whole spectrum basically tonight, even spreading it out like we chant, spreading it over the entire world, upwards in the skies and downwards and left and right and everywhere. And I felt for myself, from my own power, from my own calmness, that there was too much for me already. Yeah? There was somebody trying to do something. But that happens to me now because I have to do the talking actually, and I cannot. It's more difficult when I have to think and go to the talking again and then go back to my feelings. It interrupts my building up my own feeling towards it as well. Yeah? So it comes in your meditation. It can come far more natural. If there's really some peace and kindness building up, and it becomes strong, and it just radiates out. It's like a natural process. Huh? It's not that you have to tell the feelings then, go over the entire world. It's basically, if this loving kindness becomes strong enough, it just boom, it goes over the entire world and upwards in the skies and into space, and I don't know how far it goes. But that is just the process that is happening when loving kindness becomes very, very strong. It becomes just a very, very deep meditation. Important is to see the obstacles in one's own mind towards it. And if we go too fast, then there can come doubts. Do I really want that guy or that girl to be happy? Maybe somebody did something in the past or to us, and there comes resistance up in the mind. That can easily happen. So then you just take it back to yourself. And if we realize the value of, because it is a way of dealing with our own mind, and what we learn in the meditation, we take into the world every day. So if we manage to become just get a knack for dealing kindly with our own mind instead of this criticizer and this watcher that we have the whole time in our head. There's somebody, this inner monologue that we identify with ourselves. Somebody who is usually we distinguish maybe between, oh, that was a stupid thought and that was a nice thought, but we always believe there's somebody there in the background who is in charge. It feels like that. That's why we all have this strong feeling of this stable ego inside. And it's good that it is like that, otherwise we can go crazy, actually, can shatter the mind. But what we're trying to do is becoming more and more aware, more and more often, of what attitude this watcher in our head has, what we call ourselves. These thoughts, what sort of tone do they have? What pattern is behind that? Is that somebody kind, meaning really well? Or is that somebody who is cruel, but he means the best, because we don't know what is good for us? Like a stupid parent or a stupid teacher or the Inquisition or I don't know what, So the trick in the loving kindness meditation is that you really believe that you are your best friend. And when you really believe it, it becomes a feeling. And when the feeling gets strong enough, the thoughts and the doubts actually, they go away and the mind just sticks with that feeling because it's just so pleasant. But to make it that strong in your own mind, it needs somebody who is dealing very skillful with your own personal history. Whatever is your obstacle, you have to figure that out for yourself. If you, like Ajahn Brahm did in his retreats with some people, they couldn't find a single person that they liked, or not a single memory that was kind for them. So he said basically then visualize a kitten, a basket of kittens or puppies or whatever. And if you don't like that, find something, or find a concept in your own mind how you maybe want to be treated. How a mind could look actually that would be kind. And give that to yourself. And then be honest, please. Be honest with yourself and see the obstacles arising. If there is trouble for you with wishing loving kindness to yourself, acknowledge that. Feel it. Where does it sit? Where is the obstacle for that? Memory from the past, something you did wrong, or you wasted your life, or everybody on the planet is so stupid and it's going to be the Third World War soon, or whatnot. Whatever the thoughts are in the mind, identify, please. Identify instead of, oh no, it's supposed to be quiet now. It's supposed to be this, it's supposed to be that again. Just see what is coming up. And maintain that kindness. See if you can be your best friend. And I mean, what is a best friend? A best friend is not somebody when things go right the whole time and when you have fun. The best friend is also there for you when things get tough, or when things get unpleasant. That is when somebody is really a good friend in these moments. And so sometimes it's just when the mind gets negative, have that memory in the background, dealing kindly with that as well. Huh? This is just causes and conditions, and sometimes all stuff comes up and that is unfriendly or very negative, but the sooner we see it, and the sooner we see, oh, this is leading in just a direction we know already, negativity, bleakness, depression, aggressiveness, huh? Because we get a feeling for that. This, if we get a little bit of this taste of calmness, of this kindness, this not having to do anything, somebody who watches us without judgment and just wishing the very best for us. And that is just something we have to remember, especially depending on your past. If you have a lot of harshness in your life, because you had strict parents or you had bad experiences or whatever, that stuff is still going to come up. But it gets softened and softened and softened. And then you have something really to put it into contrast with. If you have these few moments of a little bit of calm, because you see what a different direction that is, this negativity, this aggression, that fault-finding, this revenge, this protecting oneself, is such a different feel to that. And I mean, in the world, I don't say that in the world we don't have to do some of these things to protect us. But in the meditation, we can learn to be our best friend. Really enjoying that half an hour or whatever, however long you want to do it, to be your best friend in that time. And it doesn't matter how still it becomes, and it doesn't matter how pleasant it is. If you are the best friend for that half an hour, sooner or later, I guarantee you, it is going to become very, very beautiful. Until the mind really believes you. Because we say something, but that doesn't mean anything. Oh yeah, I'm my best friend now, my best friend now. We can say it 100,000 times, and it's not going to work. There is really a point where the mind just goes click, and in that moment we really believe it. And then sometimes it can just go, wow, thank you, really? It's a feeling, very, very strong feeling. And that is the first time we really give some loving kindness to ourselves. There's really some forgiveness there. And we really get an idea how to deal with that mind, how to work with that mind. It's so much more beautiful than anything that we have tried before. So please just find your own rhythm, find your own skillful means in your meditation. There is no recipe. There are just words. These words you use in your meditation have to resonate with yourself, to resonate with your past and with your present. So you have something to do for your next meditation already. Just have a good look. Especially if you have the feeling when you wish yourself well, that there's resistance there. If it just goes into calmness when you think, oh yeah, may I be well. And it just gets calmer and calmer. That is very well-meaning already. It doesn't need to be anything special immediately. but see the observer, see things coming up. And there's a feel to it the whole time. Right now, in your own mind, there's always a feel to anything that you come into contact with. Even if it's just your own body, your own mind, there's always an attitude there. And that has to just become, in your meditation, your very, very, very best friend. Somebody you 100% trust. You're 100% convinced that you mean well with yourself. There's not a single doubt in the mind anymore. And then that takes off for yourself. And then this spreading out to other people, it just happens. When it really takes off, you can't contain it. You want to share it. The Buddha didn't have a choice in the end, basically. I always said he had to be asked to do the teaching, actually, but that was just this thing of how far does that thing go? Is there really anybody interested in that message? Huh? Everybody is just interested in the five senses. Huh? A bit more here, a bit more there, a bit more avoiding this, a bit more avoiding that, and a new car, and a new girlfriend, and a new house, and new this, and I don't know what. I mean, our whole lifestyles are bound, our whole economy is bound in this greed now. Huh? The GDP always have to rise, buy. After 9/11, the first thing that Bush said was basically, please go outside and buy something. That was the tip after the towers came down. So the whole mind is so set up in this getting something from the outside to make us happy. And if you see that is exactly the obstacle of making happy. This is just wanting and then wanting more, and you get it, and it's never satisfied. It's never a thank you there. It's just what is next. And to have this, when the mind the first time realizes, gets a little bit of this taste of that treasure that is inside there, just this beauty, that kindness, these moments of not needing anything, of 100% contentment of what is in the moment. There's also the first time an idea what freedom is, when the mind is not interested what is coming or going. It's basically whatever comes or goes is all right. It's all right with that. And that needs a taste first. And when I say taste, is a feeling, taste of that feeling. That the mind has at least somewhere to compare all the other directions with. That it can see clearly that is an anger direction. It leads to more anger and more conflict. This is a resentment direction. It leads to conflict. I build up the barriers in my own mind. I'm going to get stiff and I'm going to get resentful. So developing that feeling of loving kindness is something you watch for yourself, and you go at your own pace. And with your own skillfulness and with your own inventiveness, whatever works for you. And the direction is always calmness, not wanting anything special. That kindness is always just accepting. Even when stupid thoughts come up, there can be kindness. The watcher can be kind and say, that is okay. That is okay. There's no problem there. And it takes a while, and it often years and years and years, until you're 100% convinced that you mean it. That you really mean it, and be a very good friend to yourself. It doesn't go overnight and in one meditation, but the more often you do it and sincerely try to be a good friend to yourself, the more the mind is going to believe that is basically your intention behind it. And it's just Just making that intention stronger in the mind. So that for me is loving kindness. Huh? You heard all the stuff we sing, and it starts somewhere. And I still love you to always go inside of yourself as well. Huh? Even if you start with the kittens, and you manage to get something nice and loving up, try sometime in your meditation to bring it back to you and see if there is resistance. And then figure out what it is. And not through thinking and psychoanalyzing and I don't know what, just feel. Feel into it, where is the resistance? And then just stay with the kindness. That's all right. It's resistance. It's allowed. It's no problem. It's just resistance. And then you don't have to figure out where it is coming from. You go to the very source of it. Go to the source of that feeling and you melt it by accepting it and being kind to it. Okay, that's what I wanted to say pretty much. I'm open to any questions from you.
Yes, if there's anyone who would like to unmute, please unmute. We also have a question in the chat here. Nikki, would you like to go ahead?
I will, as I don't go back to work soon, so I wanted to ask you, thank you. Thank you, Ajahn. Mariah, can't see you. There you are. Thank you, Ajahn. I'm sorry, I really enjoyed that.
Good.
It was really good. I've never heard it put in the context of calmness. Because I couldn't cultivate, I've never been able to cultivate loving kindness. I can't quite grasp it. It sort of isn't there. So when you talked about calmness, I could do that. I'm getting a bit emotional seeing that, but and then I noticed what was really strong is anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So it was constant like this, anxiety coming up, and then I was trying, and then just being calm. Sort of bringing the calmness to it, and then it was I didn't realise, well I have realised there's a lot of fear there, but what you're saying makes sense in the way that you're explaining it and guiding us into just be calm. I'm just going to be calm.
Well, I mean the calmness, sometimes we cannot be calm, huh? And then we can get very unkind again of wanting to be calm. The kindness has to extend that much that when we're not calm, we just remember we are not in charge. They are just thoughts. They're just feelings. They come and go. It's not that we have gonna be the supercomputer who has everything under control. It's the opposite. It's basically the only control that we have is we can remember that kindness, that calmness. And it's just like, and then the mind sees, oh, this is anxiety. But there's a thought behind that anxiety, and you see what thought caused that anxiety. Feelings, when they're calm, they not just go into anxiety. There is a thought that comes up first. And I can just encourage you to be brave enough and kind enough to watch exactly that thought that comes up before another episode of anxiety happens. Because there will be a thought, I guarantee you. Yeah? Feeling it's
the thought is it's something bad is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the thought is. As you're saying that, yeah, that's what that thought is. And then when you said control, I wrote down control as you were talking. I thought there's something about I've become very controlling because there's a thought of something bad's going to happen.
That's right.
What do I do with that then?
You remember the kindness and you go basically, what is if nothing bad is going to happen? What is the worst thing that can happen? But you play around with it. You play around kindly. You see it's a thought. It's nothing more than a thought. The reality we give that thought is conditioned by how real we take our thoughts. And once you meditate for a while, you see how little control we have over this thought process. Huh? And then we don't have to associate every thought comes up in our mind. Oh, why did I think that? Huh? Oh, I shouldn't think that. Blah, 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 blah. It's just judging, it's just thoughts coming and going. If we don't give the thought that importance, it would just be a thought like, is the weather going to be nice tomorrow? Huh? That thought doesn't have any anxiety in our experience. Huh? Maybe if we go on a trip and it needs to be nice or whatnot. But in general, it's just like, it's going to be sunny tomorrow, the thought. No? It's going to be sunny tomorrow. Why does that thought have no anxiety? But the thought is, what is going to happen? Am I going to lose control? Huh? Why is that a scary thought? Huh? They have both the same value. Huh? They're both just thoughts, nothing more. Huh? But we give one thought incredible value and the other thought not. So the question is then, how much value has that thought? Huh? What is am I going to lose control? Yes, you're going to lose control. You're 100% going to lose control. You're going to lose more control than you could ever imagine you could lose control. But at the same time, it's the most beautiful feeling you have ever experienced in your life if you lose total control. It's just the thought associates losing control with something negative. Well, if somebody really kind watches what is going on there, what are you supposed to lose control over? If there are no thoughts anymore, and you're just with a beautiful, calm feeling, it's only the thought, am I going to lose control, that disturbs that calm feeling. And you see the only thing what happened is there was an unkind thought coming up in your mind, nothing more. It was not the problem that you're going to lose control. It was the problem that somebody came up with a concept of something negative again. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're just going to get braver and braver in your meditation. You're just going to get more and more confidence that you mean well with yourself. And then if you really have the thought gets very strong, I'm losing control, I feel uncomfortable, you stop. You never push your mind anywhere where it doesn't want to go. And you get up and have a cup of tea, or switch on the television, or read a book, or chat to a friend. You never put your mind in the corner. Huh? If that really gets strong and you just don't feel ready to watch what is going on, you're not playful enough, don't feel kind enough, you just change what you're doing. That is your kindness then in that moment. Okay? So it's not just being kind in the meditation. No, I have to be kind. No, I can't be kind. And maybe we have to do something different. The mind is just not ready in that moment. And the kindness thing is then to bring it somewhere else. Huh? Do something that you enjoy, usually. That is the kindness then. And then when the mind is ready again, it cannot even see the problem anymore. It just sits there. What was the problem? It's really hard to remember the problem then in that moment when the mind is in a good state again. Huh? So the kindness is inside your meditation, but it's also in your real life, obviously. Huh? It's the way we treat ourselves day by day by day. We become more aware of our inner monologue, how our inner monologue is talking to us. Huh? If we talk in a nice way to ourselves, or if we talk in a critical way to ourselves. And every time we talk in a critical way, we just remember, can that really lead to calmness? Is that really kind? Is that really helpful for myself or other people? And then we don't have to tell the mind, no, don't go there, go here. Basically, we just look. We always just look and see. Oh, there's no way to calmness there. There's no way to kindness there. And if we really see clearly, the mind drops it, because the mind, if the mind sees there is suffering, it doesn't want to go there. So we don't have. It's so easy then to become your friend, because the mind has that drive. We want happiness and try to avoid suffering. We're just sometimes very, very deluded and confused how to deal with thoughts and concepts. And then we just create more suffering in our head. So yeah, just keep going with it, and try to meditate from time to time. Get a little bit of calmness if you manage. And if not a little bit of calmness, you just put effort into your kindness in your meditation when you sit down. Just, I want it really the very best for myself. Just maybe for 5 minutes. Just to feel as good as I can. And if I don't feel good, that's all right. Just know I did my very best to be kind to myself. And the mind is going to remember that, and it's going to remember a little bit of calmness when you have had a little bit of calmness, and that gives you a real perspective to where the obstacles lie on your path. Last time I had a lady, and I don't know what she said anymore, but basically she was going a little bit somewhere where I didn't mean it the way she perceived it. And I just mentioned that thing with the shoulders that I often do. Because I could see her sitting like that again. It's just this, first kindness is relaxing the body, getting aware of your body, getting a little bit rid of that tension that we carry. And this kindness, I really mean that in the beginning of the meditation. Usually I go once through the whole body from the feet up and here, then you can feel it very nicely here on your forehead as well. That kindness can go just directly into your forehead. Just, oh yeah, it can relax now. Shoulders, it just can relax now. And that is kindness. There is calmness there. It's just the opposite of tension, the opposite. And then you see what wrong concept control is. Control is exactly that tension. Holding things together, having to be aware here and there. That is torture. How can you be afraid of losing that? That is exactly the opposite I'm talking about, It's this not having to control, this kindness, this you're safe. You're safe there. Don't have to do anything. And if it goes in that direction, and feel inside your body, never forget your body into it as often as you can in your daily life. Just see how your shoulders are, if you're breathing properly. It's all part of that kindness. And yeah, you're going to get the hang of it. Just stay with it for a while, try. Sometimes we have a few obstacles from our past and from our conditioning, and then it takes a while. But it's going to have an effect, I guarantee you. And just getting onto the right path of dealing with your thoughts and your emotions. Stick with it for a while. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Are you muted, Chris? Yeah.
Would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question? You had your virtual hand up there for a while.
Yeah. No, Ajahn probably covered it, but I've heard that you can't have a bad meditation, or there's no such thing as a bad meditation, and I really think I have a lot of bad meditation. So.
Yeah, what Ajahn Brahm means when he says that is obviously if you make that wholesome effort of just being interested in calmness, that is something good in itself already, just having that interest. But people often forget, and that they're just getting into this meditation as if it's like prayer, or it's like chanting, or it's like everything else. It becomes a thing in itself, you know. It says, I'm a meditator, and they sit down, and it's just like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be calm, I'm supposed to watch my breath, in, out, in, out, in, out. Boring, or just... And then just thoughts come up, basically, and just, it still doesn't work. Meditating for 20 years, nothing has happened. I'm just hopeless. The world is hopeless. People are shit. I hate everybody. And that can become a meditation in itself, basically, you know. It's just we just don't realize we have stopped meditating, or basically, I mean, meditating comes from the English word comes from a Christian background. Meditare is Latin, is I think thinking about, basically, or pondering in that direction. So meditation in the real sense doesn't really catch samadhi, the Pali word. So, but if we're still in this state of pondering, really, then it doesn't matter if the mind gets still or not. But do the pondering in a way where you realize what taste has that pondering. Is that a nice pondering? Is that a pondering leading to more calmness, or are there these thoughts leading to more agitation? And then instead of wanting thoughts be more calm, we just realize, these thoughts, they cannot lead to more calmness. They're just they're agitating me. So, do I need to think them now? We can ask our mind, is that necessary? And then basically, if the mind continues, we can say, okay, mind, if you really need to think that right now, that's okay. Go ahead. Be as negative if you can be. Be as fearful as you want to be. And if the kindness, if you know what I mean with kindness, if it's really kindness, and you know you mean it, it's going to change almost instantly. Because there is no thought that is so important that it wants to be so. It's always the attitude. We want and we don't want. The whole time, in every second. And if we are here on this planet for a few years, we have learned, and we have our patterns set already to know exactly, that's what I want, that's what I not want. And the older we get, the more crusted these things become. The more it's just, no, I know that already, I don't want that, I want that. And so it's basically in the meditation, it goes exactly the same way. It's just we tried for a long time or whatnot, and then stuff comes up. Don't want you, actually, no more thoughts. No thoughts. And we forget the attitude. We forget that we are not in control. The attitude of kindness can stop the control, because it becomes beautiful, more beautiful, more beautiful, and then the mind gets interested in what is happening. It is a really nice feeling. That is how meditation happens. It's not some lights, nimitta stuff is always, the bright light, and the bright light is just like, it feels in the mind maybe like a light, but it's a super intense feeling. Never forget that. It's not a mental concept and something just like behind your eyes. It's like the whole thing is opening up, and it's just like, wow, how can there be so much beauty there? And I was so blind to see that there was all there the whole time. Inside of each and every one of you. There's nothing that is just for this person or that person, and that is either we're all meditators or nobody is. It's just like the mind needs to get to this tipping point where it just sees the beauty in the calmness just becomes so beautiful, the kindness just becomes so beautiful and so trustworthy. And that sort of control is just a thought passing by. It's just a little wobble. But the feeling of calmness is already so much stronger than a stupid thought coming through your mind. And then we realize this is just a thought. It's not my thought. It just goes past. Comes and goes. And the feeling also comes and goes, but the feeling, once strong enough, gets relatively stable. And then it becomes more stable because the mind really looks, because it's beautiful, and we want the beautiful and try to avoid the awfulness the whole time. That's our whole job, the whole day. And then we see there is so much beauty by doing exactly the opposite what we did our whole life. Instead of controlling and grasping and getting and I don't know what is there for free. And the less I do and the less I control, the more beautiful it becomes. And there are going to be these tipping points, hopefully, in your meditation. And then every meditation is a good meditation. If you remember, why are you meditating? You're not meditating there to achieve something. You're meditating, remember to be a good friend with yourself, and remember a sort of what a happiness that you don't have to do something for a few minutes. And I told you before, whatever feels comfortable in your own mind, that is the time for your meditation. If it's 3 minutes or 3 hours, it doesn't matter. Huh? If it's just you tell yourself, 3 minutes, I don't have to do anything. And the mind thinks, oh yeah, that's beautiful. If you think, 5 minutes, I don't have to do anything, and the mind thinks already, 5 minutes, it's going to be long. Or if it's 10 minutes, it's going to be long. Or it's half an hour, it's going to be long. Whatever time frame, you need this honesty for yourself. It's not about achieving, and anybody's going to clap you on your back later on or whatnot. Oh, you're such a great meditator. You meditated another half an hour yesterday or what. Oh, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. But in reality, you were sitting there angry with yourself and with the rest of the world or whatnot. That wasn't a successful meditation. And then it's not going to be any meditation is a good meditation. No, I don't agree. The meditation where you put the effort in of kindness, calmness, and just this interest in watching, being aware what is going on instead of controlling what is going on, is going to be a good meditation. Then I agree. But please, always when you sit down, just this kindness should be the first thing when you bring up, because you're going to relax your body, you're going to relax your shoulders, and just for 5 minutes the world can just be the world, and I just don't have to do a thing. Nothing is important right now. This is completely just for me. And whatever good comes out for me is good that is going to come out for other people in the end. Yeah? So that is then a good meditation. Okay? Where's the one asking that questions? On the other page or what?
Emily, she's waving to you, Ajahn.
You're on that page. Okay, sorry. You're on my second page. They banned you to the second page here. I don't know who does the choosing. I think the computer does it by itself, actually.
I think so. I've got 2 questions in the chat here I'd like to read for you.
Yes?
Firstly, regarding Ajah's talk about investigating feelings, I find it hard to handle regret and forgiveness for myself for my own past mistakes, particularly mistakes that have made me lose a great opportunity in life. I feel that I'm not where I want to be right now, for example. I feel that I gave up easily in life. How do I become my best friend again so I don't waste my present?
First of all, the best way not to waste any more time is seeing that these thoughts of regret are good for nothing. They have absolutely no value at all. Huh? Just, what sort of thoughts are that? Are they kind thoughts or unkind thoughts? Are they thoughts of acceptance or are they thoughts of criticism? Huh? Are they thoughts of it's all right where you are, or are they thoughts of you should be somewhere else? Huh? All the things that happen to you in your life put you right there where you are right now. And there can never be anything wrong with that. That is all the experience you had in your life. So if you have learned out of those experiences, then the experiences were absolutely necessary, weren't they? So where do you want to be where you're not? Huh? You missed a great opportunity, you said, basically. But maybe you had to miss that opportunity to be in the meditation group tonight or wherever you are in your life right now. Huh? These thoughts, they're exactly the opposite of kindness if you look closely. Because they're judging again. It's sort of as if somebody was in control in the past and they missed their chance and now you're in a pickle here or whatnot, and where you don't want to be. But if you start to develop thoughts of gratitude and kindness towards yourself right now, from now on, might be completely all right where you are right now. I hope you have enough to eat. I hope you have a place to sleep. I hope you have clothes to wear, and I hope you have medicine when you become sick, or at least painkillers or something. If you have that, you did everything completely all right. And even sometimes if you don't have that, you might have done exactly all right. There's no way we can do anything different from the understanding we have in that moment. Huh? So whatever is happening to you right now, there is a learning experience to that. Huh? So now the mind knows already basically what maybe to avoid, you have to be more careful in the world, where you might have to be a little bit more enthusiastic, that you don't miss a chance. But to find fault with that process now is just like you just set your mind up to get to be more negative with yourself again. Huh? And it's not psychoanalyzing stuff, meditation. It's basically you work with the things in the moment. And what is dark from the past, you put some light into that. Make the conscious effort of giving that kindness. If the thought comes up, I wasted my life, it's just like, oh yeah, okay. Is it true? What is a non-wasted life? How does it look like? Huh? What's his name? Does Elon Musk, does he waste his life? No, he's completely on the ball. Huh? He's doing so much stuff, buying this and that and flying into space. Hey, he really got things figured out. Huh? But in the end, when Elon Musk sits down in the evening, or if he even can sit down peacefully in the evening in his armchair, huh? Can he close his eyes for a few minutes and be happy with himself? If you can't do that, then you haven't achieved enough, in my opinion. Huh? It depends on what standard you put everything in.